next week?
I still have some.
Really?
I still have procedural programming. I think. I don't know. I don't go to them anyway,
Yeah, I
so
know
it
you
doesn't
don't, bro.
matter. But obviously I still got assignments and stuff to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, that being said, welcome to the second episode of the Long Day Podcast.
Hola.
Hopefully my quality is a bit better now.
Nah,
But
you sound good, bro. You sound good.
good.
How are you doing, Usman? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. A bit tired. A bit,
Yeah. As ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to say a lot less this episode. I was looking back on it.
Was that something that you picked up on?
Yeah, I
that
picked
you
up on
kept
it. Rather than say I just need to take a long pause, so you might not even hear me for this episode for like the entire.
He'll go silent.
Yeah.
I might just mute his mic and just talk.
Yeah.
One channel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
how are you?
How am I? I was going to move on, but I'm fantastic. I've had a bit of a bad boy week. Last week I was preaching about not drinking and not going out and having fun, and then since Monday I've been out every night. Not like partying, but going to like gigs. I DJ'd on Monday, went to see a rapper on Tuesday. Last night I went and met my friends, and then tonight I'm going to see some more rappers. So
having a good time.
Yes, mate. Yeah, enjoying life. Just as it's getting a really week. I've just got a new job today, so that's another thing that's exciting.
Lots of movements.
Yeah, mate. Lots of movements. No, just vertical. No lateral.
Yeah, I mean it's the same with me. Like this week, I've met a few more people in university, as you do, because it's a social place. I've been doing well with my diet. I had a bit of a lapse in the start of the week. Yeah,
it happens, bro. It happens.
But I think I've been making progress. I've been getting there's notifications on your phone which has weight been trending lower for an average of 5 days. I've been
and that's what you want, mate. That's what you want.
Yeah.
That positive reinforcement. You just need to block out the Deliveroo £12 off vouchers and just cram on weight down.
The way it's going now, I have no money, so I think Deliveroo is not going to be a thing anymore. I've literally got, I've got what, £70 on my account?
Mate, I've got 22, and I'm supposed to be going out tonight, so I might have to have a conversation with my mum and say, look,
do you not get overdrafts?
I need food. Nah, I don't think I'd be responsible with an overdraft, to be honest with you, mate. All of my friends have overdrafts, and they always say get one, and I did apply for one at the start of uni, and I got rejected, and then my dad rang us 3 days later, and because my bank's still linked to my old house, he said, do you want us to open the letter? I said, go on. And he said, yeah, it's a good thing that you don't have an overdraft. That's what he said, so I'll stay away from that for now.
With an overdraft, especially a student one, when do you have to pay it back?
I don't know. Do you have a student bank account?
I've got a student bank account. I've got overdraft. So the way mine works, I've got £1,000 overdraft for the first year.
Yeah.
2,000 for the second year. What? 3,000 for the third year. It goes up each year because they know you're progressively getting more and more broke.
Mate,
as uni progresses.
How does that work? That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's gonna look so weird when I have a negative number. I shouldn't say when, because I need to avoid it all. But if there's a negative number on my bank statement, it's gonna look so weird. But
I'm used to negative numbers, mate. I've been living on the breadline for about 3 or 4 years now. Phone bill, every time it comes off every month, I'm minus 25 or something.
Yeah.
Straight on the phone, or saying to me, Dad, I get paid in a few days. Can you sort that out? It's not very responsible. I'd like to think I'm going to get my finances in order, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I think once you get a hold of your finances, that's when you can really say I've sort of made it, and
literally,
you don't have to worry about it anymore.
I was watching a YouTube video this morning, and he said you should be working on your physique, your finances, and your confidence.
Yeah.
And if you can have all 3 of those in order by a certain age, you'll be right at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see about that.
Get the money up. But it's a scary process, just financial.
Mate, literally.
Yeah.
But I do think when you're a student, you're in a bit of a bubble where you've got this free money, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really pleased that I've got this job now, because the money I'm going to be earning is going to be money that's mine through my own work. And because I don't really get a student loan at all, I'm going to be a lot more careful with it. But I can say, mate, I've spent so much money on alcohol this week. And I've had a total of, I think it was maybe it's only be about 10 drinks now in 3 days, which really isn't many. I used to do that in a night out, sometimes more. But it adds up, mate. I must have spent easy £50 in the last few days. And just on alcohol, mate. It's dangerous.
That's the thing. Alcohol in London as well is especially expensive.
I don't know, mate. I've always said this. I think there's a set standard on alcohol. If you're just going into little towns and drinking, say like where I grew up, you're gonna get a pint for £2-3. If you go to Newcastle though, it's gonna be £5, sometimes £5.50 standard, and London's probably gonna be like £1 more. So when you're paying £5.50, what's £6.50? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because that's like per 5 pints you're paying for an extra pint. It's not really like that much more money.
But I guess the jobs in the city make up for it as well. Because I know in London paychecks tend to be higher.
Yeah, definitely.
To accommodate for everything else being a higher price.
Yeah, exactly,
as well.
bro. Exactly. Well, there will have been a lot of partying recently. To segue with Halloween. Did you get up to much, bro?
I mean, I had a segue already. I was going to say, speaking of scary stuff.
But just totally ruined it there. I'm sorry.
It was fine. It's fine. Halloween. I don't really do Halloween, to be honest.
Yeah.
I should do, to be honest. I haven't done Halloween in a number of years, and I think I do regret not doing it this year.
Really?
I should have. Yeah, because I was so on my grind, so I was like, no, I'm just gonna stay. Keep on working, keep on doing it. But then it came to the end of the month, and I see everyone outside partying. I'm kind of like, okay, fine. And then that's when I get the takeaway.
Yeah, exactly, man. You got to compensate in some way.
Yeah, I feel like I should have, but definitely next year. There's always a Halloween, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Halloween, it's not like Christmas where it's like the 25th of December. Halloween is just a made-up day. It's like a spooky day. Halloween, in my opinion, is a load of rubbish. Like,
what is the origin of Halloween?
It's literally just being created as a way. Initially, it was like a fun day for kids and whatnot, I think. I don't know where it actually... This is why we need someone who's like a Jamie from Joe Rogan, who's like, yo, Jamie, pull that up and we can see where the origins of Halloween are. I might even do a little Google. I'll keep talking whilst we do. But over the last few years, especially, I think they've tapped into a market of people who feel the need to obsess over a certain period in the year. Some people live for Christmas, other people live for Halloween, and it's like spooky season and stuff like that. Like, I don't understand the obsession. But
all I see Halloween as is a day where you can cosplay without being judged.
Yes, exactly, mate, exactly. Like that like, in all honesty, when you think about it, like, most people end up looking like idiots when they're just like walking around in, say, like a Zelda costume and a normal day. But on Halloween, it's totally acceptable.
It's all acceptable.
Yeah, literally.
But to be fair, some of the costumes I've seen have been sick. What have you seen? There was a guy in like a Mario costume, and there was someone in like a Princess Peach costume.
Yeah.
They look like a set in the uni and just walking around. It's like, tell you what, if you put effort into your costume, that's it.
Yeah.
But then you've got the other people with, like, the typical Playboy bunny costume.
Oh yeah.
Or they haven't even tried. They just got like a clip-on like devil.
Yeah, it's like in a red dress, literally.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, wow.
Like, either go full send or leave it.
Yeah.
To be fair, but that's that. I'm sure.
You can't really half-arse it.
So I've found here that Halloween apparently was a tradition that originated from the ancient Celtic festival or Celtic festival, I'm not sure the pronunciation, of Samhain or Samhain. Samhain. No, not Samhain. Samhain's always behind something, bro.
Yes.
But it says that people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts in the 8th century. So it was designated as November 1st, apparently. But then obviously it's changed to the 31st of October. But I guess it's just a result of witches and scarcity of witchcraft.
That makes sense, because most people say Halloween night is October 31st. So you would assume the next day would actually be Halloween, similar to how Christmas Eve, 24th, and then, November 1st doesn't sound as good though, does it?
No, it doesn't. October 31st is like the day.
Because once it's November, it's full send for Christmas now.
Oh, 100%. And do you not think there's been since Halloween that night, there's been a switch in the weather? I feel like, obviously, the clocks went back, obviously, or forward. I really always get confused.
Let's see, so it's...
So if it was 4 o'clock now, it was 5 o'clock.
So it's 3:16 now, but on another day it would have been 2:16.
Oh, okay, so they go forward.
It's getting later, so that's why at 5 o'clock it gets
right, I get it. But yeah, since then, mate, I feel like there's been a proper switch, crazy wind, it's been raining consistently. if you look on the weather app right now, it's like 100% chance of rain for the next 5 days. And obviously with the darkness as well. The thing is, I actually like the dark nights. I think it's a lovely like foil to the summer just coming out of it, and it makes me feel like I need to hustle, I need to grind and work, you know what I mean? So it's a bit like a sort of motivator for me. But again, it's a strange one.
For me, I think the nice thing about the fall and winter season is that once it gets to the dark nights, like, you still got a lot of the day left.
Yeah.
It's a lot more cozy, I think.
Of course, literally.
It's definitely it's perfect time to get into a relationship.
Oh yeah, that would be the dream right now, mate. You know, honestly, as I yawn.
Once I can't even do Winter Wonderland this year, or unless I go into overdraft.
Looking for a girl for Winter Wonderland.
Looking for money for Winter Wonderland.
Yeah, exactly. Have you been to Winter Wonderland before?
I've heard stories. I
don't think I've heard stories. I know it's hyped up. I can't see myself going. In all honesty, not my sort of scene, but I get why people love it. It's like Christmas markets as well. There was the Christmas market in Newcastle was like everyone's wet dream. Like, they'd be so excited for it. But I think that's just every girl's wet dream. We
still have that in Southampton as well. We have a Christmas market where they do like German hot dogs and stuff.
Literally, mate, it's always the same stuff.
I think the appeal of it is like going on a night where it's not raining, but it's also like it's not dry as hell. Like
it's getting a bit cozy with the darkness.
A bit colder, yeah. And you can wear like a nice jacket and feel like really like cozy.
Yeah.
And you go with someone you like. You have like a hot chocolate or like a beer or something. And then just chill and just talk.
Yeah.
That's really, and I think it's sweet, to be fair. Like,
more the environment that it provides as opposed to the value that it provides. Because in terms of value, you get very little. You might pay £10 for a sausage in a bun, and they're nice sausages. They are. I'm not gonna lie. But then you've got like sweets and pick and mix and stuff like that for obscene prices. But it's the experience that you pay for. Thing is, do you pay to get into Winter Wonderland?
I'm assuming you do. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's another thing that would stop me from going.
Let me research that.
Do it. I'm very interested because I feel like Winter Wonderland. My only point of contact with it is photos on Twitter, and girls with their boyfriends or girls with their girlfriends saying like, "Oh, I don't need a boy this year. I got my gal." You know what I mean?
With my girls, yeah. No, I mean, one of the main reasons I quite like winter, it gives me an excuse to wear my Timberlands. And like, you know, just a lot like beefier clothing, because I'm a bigger guy, innit?
Yeah.
So I prefer wearing like big hoodies, big tracksuits, big cargo trousers, etc. You know, it's a perfect weather for it.
It's like when winter starts, I'm gonna really start dressing. You know what I mean? It's like you can layer up, you can wear the hoodies. Because mate, I saw a video of people skating in California the other day, and it just hit me that like, it's like 30 degrees over there and they're wearing hoodies and chinos. I don't really understand how they do it. I don't know whether they're just acclimatized to it.
It's 30 degrees in Fahrenheit though.
Yeah, but even then, mate, it's like that all year. It's like 30 degrees our weather there all year. Right. Most of the year around. The winter's because I met this girl from California a few weeks ago, and she was saying like literally consistently throughout the whole year it's hotter than it is in the summer.
I guess people just get acclimatized to it. So Winter Wonderland. So between 18th of November and 2nd of January.
Yeah.
You choose your date. So you book the date. Then you choose your entry time. So free during off-peak periods, but costs £5 to £7.50 for peak hours. It's not that bad, to be honest.
It's not bad at all, bro.
And once you're in, you can stay for as long as you like. If you spend £25 on any attractions, rides, or games in advance, your entry ticket will become free when booked in the same transaction. So essentially, if you buy £25 worth of stuff to do, you don't need to pay for the ticket.
See, this is where they get you, and also all the vendors inside of the venue, they'll all be employed. Right, they'll all be paying rent probably to the owners and all of the fun activities as well. So realistically, they'll be making crazy money either way. The profit margins will be insane as well, mate. Especially on some of the food items that they're selling. I mean, you're selling popcorn, mate. Popcorn, like the profit margins on that, it's insane. It's like similar to coffee. Like coffee's coffee's a strange one, mate, because in terms of how much it costs to produce and sell, and how much
beans, isn't it?
Mate, how much one cup of coffee costs in regards to like the business itself providing, purchasing it, and then how much they sell it for. It's insane. I'd love to know the actual percentage on the margin of increase there, because some people pay. I mean, I've paid upwards of £4 to a cup of coffee sometimes, and like, I often wonder how certain businesses turn a profit. But then I think about the actual price of the raw materials, like pizza shops, for example, bro. Like, takeaway pizza shops, £15 from Domino's, for example, upwards of $18.99, I think, for a large one, and that pizza can't cost more than £2 to make.
It's one of those things where once you start cooking at home, like a lot of the food items, you kind of realise how little they cost. I remember, like, I bought the microwave popcorn years ago, and it was like 95p. If I bought that pre-made, like the popcorn was already popped and whatever, it would be like, what, £3-4 for the exact same thing?
When I worked at the cinema, I remember them saying, I can't remember the specific figures, but for example, if you wanted to buy a large popcorn combo with a drink, you're talking £12. Like, or even just a medium on its own, I think was like £7. And obviously people will pay it because, again, it's like Winter Wonderland. You go in there for the experience and everything like that, but the prices are...
Speak for yourself. One of the best parts about going to the cinema is trying to sneak the food in.
Oh yeah, it's a rush, mate. It's an absolute rush. I've got a friend who just doesn't give a toss, and he just literally just walks in with it in his hands and gets away with it.
The thing is, you got to keep in mind, the majority of the like employees are like you know, young students.
Oh mate, I didn't care.
The customers are being ripped off. So at that point, if I was over there, but do a thing, man.
But that's what it's like in all jobs like that, bro. Literally, like the responsibility is not like. You've got a responsibility, but you're not in any way rewarded for it. So why would I stop somebody with their own? And I say that, I'm not gonna lie, mate. When I used to work in the cinema, I did actually used to be that person who would stop specific people because I like winding people up. Got a lot of stories from the cinema that are interesting. Like, I'd like to share some at some point in another podcast. Like, but just the responsibilities that you have in regards to the pay that you get, it's never worth it, really. So
I think for me, the main thing that annoys me when I see like people like that who kind of stick up for the company is that you can kind of tell like they are working for the company and not themselves. Because most people who work, realistically, they don't give a shit about the company. They just want to get money and go home. And like usually, what the company's trying to do is through training and all of that, they try to like convince you that it's actually really important to care about being late and being like doing the best for the company, as if you have a bigger role to pay. Just like, for example, I'm not going to mention a company, but one company tends to say, like, you know, you have a partnership with the people in the company when realistically you're just an employee. But they try to make you feel like you've got a bigger role, and we're like. People who worked there for like 20 years are no different to how they were 5 years ago.
Oh, man.
Promotions or nothing.
I was thinking about this today. I remember when I was at said place and someone was getting rewarded for 30 years worth of service with a badge. And I thought, if you're somebody, of course, and if you don't have to worry about, say, said person had a partner who was earning a good wage and what this person was doing whilst working at this business itself was just to keep themselves ticking along, keep them busy and have a bit of income. Fair play, you know what I mean? It's good service, but like the reward in theory is bullshit, really. A badge, like it's like,
come on. Like,
it's not Blue Peter, bro, you know what I mean?
Like, jobs like that where there's no prospects or even like promotional within the job or like getting out to do something better, they're always a means to an end.
Definitely.
And when you can see people who've kind of just given up and just accepted, like, okay, I'm comfortable here now, this is what I'm going to do. You
get trapped.
It's depressing. It's honestly depressing.
Yeah, they get trapped. It's like what we were saying the other day over dinner. There are a lot of smart people in bad jobs.
Dumb situations.
Yeah, and they're in those situations because they get comfortable and often they don't have the means to take something any further and they haven't realised it. And a lot of the time I think it's determined by degrees, in my opinion. Because there's a lot of dumb people in good jobs because they have a degree and a lot of smart people in bad jobs because they don't have one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very biased towards just that qualification.
Yeah.
But I feel like even if you can't really call those people smart, because if they were smart, then actually no, I guess they're smart, but they haven't been like taught how to live up to their potential.
Yeah, literally.
That's the thing, because like a truly like smart person who knows their potential would only ever use a job as a means to an end, and
Oh, of
eventually want
course,
to get out
literally.
of it. It's why right now I'd rather go broke and hungry in uni than work. No offense.
It's okay, bro.
Work. But obviously, with you it's different because you don't have proper
Yeah.
student finance. So
Thing is, it's not even just that though,
Yeah.
mate. Like in terms of me wanting a job, obviously the money's a factor. The money's a
Yeah.
huge factor. It's probably the motivating factor behind it all. But I genuinely think that when I'm working a job that caters towards my strengths, my social skills go up tenfold. I feel elated after a shift. I feel so happy and adrenaline rushed, and I just think there's a buzz that you get from it, and it just sort of weaves into every other aspect of your life, because I think that it'll make us more productive with university, because rather than mulling over work, I'll be like, I've got a shift for 8 hours and it's due tomorrow. I've got it, like my work's due tomorrow. I've got to get this done before the shift, and rather than like putting it off till the last second, it's like I've got to just get it done now. And then also as well, you fill your time a lot more productively, because again, like I think, oh, I've got an hour till I start work. I'll go a bit early, sit in a cafe and make a beat or make a song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it just all bleeds into every little aspect of your life. In all honesty.
I mean, for me, it's sort of the opposite. Where when I work a job, especially if it's fulfilling, where it's like something that I'm actually good at.
Yeah.
Once I've done that shift, I'm done for the rest of the day, because I don't get any sort of like elation after it. I spend all my energy.
Really?
Because I have the sort of mindset where what I'm doing right now, I have to like do it properly and put 100% into it. So I'm one of those people who generally, I take it too far to the point where I actually do start caring about being late and like working with the company.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I never want to do one of those things again, because I know, say I do it and I really like it, I am very likely to be one of those people who get comfortable and then don't get out of that sort of situation. Yeah. So, yeah, and I just can't do that again. I'd rather go hungry in university.
Really?
But have the time to work on my own ventures. Than, be in one of those jobs. Because it just doesn't benefit me in any way.
Yeah.
The only reason I worked it during my gap year was to have the money to buy stuff to enable me to do what I'm doing now with the podcast and with my YouTube channel, etc. I've got all of that now. The only thing I'd realistically buy with a paycheck from another job is junk food, probably, or just like an excess of food that I can live on the food I have now. Clothes which I don't need, and dates which I don't need. Which is nice. But I'd rather get that money myself.
But it's like what we were talking about last week about how like we were saying about what's it like in London, and I mentioned that you have to give up a lot of luxuries, and I think what you're saying there is you're comfortable giving up those luxuries. And I think also having an excess of money, it's almost like you feel the need to spend it, and lifestyle you would spend
inflation.
it.
That's what it's called.
Literally.
Yeah.
Say that one more time, sorry, bro.
Lifestyle inflation. So
lifestyle inflation.
The more money you earn, the more like prestige your lifestyle becomes. So for it to say you're earning £1,000, and you're usually spending like £700 per month. And then you start earning £2,000, you wouldn't have extra money because you're still spending £700. You'd start spending £1,400 instead because you've doubled it. So
that makes a lot of sense.
It's the same. It's why a lot of that's why when lifestyle inflation happens, it differentiates the people who stay rich from the people who are rich. Because Bill Gates, for example. If he was the type of person to fall into the habits of lifestyle inflation, he'd be wearing like Gucci all the time. But you see him, and he's just wearing a regular like H&M t-shirt.
Literally, mate. Him and Zuckerberg and all those guys, that's all they do. It's the same t-shirt, same coloured t-shirt, plain t-shirt. So what I like to do, I literally just wear the same white and black t-shirts every day, same tracksuit bottoms, same underpants.
It's a Twitter meme, isn't it? Act broke to stay rich.
Oh, act rich and stay broke. You know what I mean? But it's an interesting conversation, mate. Because what you said there about lifestyle inflation, I can see that in myself. Do you know what I mean? I've done that multiple times, so many times.
I've done that so many times.
It's so easy as well, mate. When you get paid and that fat check comes in, you're like,
Yeah, I did it with student finance as well. To be honest,
But mate, what you do is, it gets into your bank, and somebody online has a theory about how money doesn't exist, and
it's just a number.
But this is the thing. It's just a number, and when you've got so much of it, you don't see how the number changes.
No.
So you spend and you spend and you spend, but the problem is eventually it does run out. If you've got like hundreds of millions, then it doesn't matter. But
no, it can still happen. With hundreds of millions, you could potentially think that a Bugatti isn't that much, and then you keep on spending that sort of level of money, and then right where everyone else is. Again, it's a lifestyle inflation thing, isn't it? But,
no, it's definitely an interesting topic, bro. 100%. Because, like I said, I've seen that myself.
What I might do with my next student finance is I'll give the money that I have to someone outside my family. And just be like, I want to live this sort of lifestyle, like this sort of way. So just give me this amount of money per week, which I know can accommodate everything.
That's a really smart way, mate. 100%.
I'll never run out of money technically.
So. That's how my dad used to try and sort my finances out when I was about 18, 19. And I'd basically give him all my wage, and he'd give me £50 to £80 a week out of it. And that would just be my like little bumper. Obviously, what would happen is I'd spend it all straight away, and I'd just say, "Can I have the rest? Can I have the rest?" And it's hard to say no to me when I'm present. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like a businessman on cocaine, just going wild in a boardroom. But it's definitely if you can handle that with the discipline of not going back to getting the rest of the money, then it's definitely a good way to live. 100%.
See, what I'd hope I'd do is in that sort of situation, I'd be more inclined to save week by week, so I get something big at the end of it. Because I don't save at all. Like, I need to start saving, or at least putting stuff into crypto or some sort of investments. But usually I do like reverse saving. Well, I'll buy something on credit, and I know for a guarantee I'll have that money.
Yeah.
So it gives you the reverse feeling, because obviously you're saving. You keep on saving, and then you finally able to buy it, and it's a really good feeling, like, I saved for this long. Whereas with like reverse saving, like you buy it on credit, and then you finally have to pay for it. For spend all this money. Now you're supposed to do.
It's like purposely making things harder for yourself. It's like you get the fun of the item.
Yeah.
But then, rather than paying for it in the moment, like you said, you end up paying for it out of whatever money you've got in the future. But that's like a motivator, because then when you do eventually get the money, what happens? Well, the money comes straight out, and then you're straight back to square one, so you don't do it again. So you know you can get away with it.
Yeah, honestly. Going back a few points, back to Wonderland. I was going to say this earlier, but I forgot to. I think we should go. I don't really mind, because I think it's worth the experience going, even if you end up with less money after it.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should go as a flat or something. I'm willing to go as a flat, I think.
Yeah, I could possibly go. Well, it's just got to see about my schedule now, mate, because I'm a busy man now. Yeah, especially if a lot of stuff takes off, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we've got a whole month to do it. A month and a half, I think.
We should be able to find a few hours, 100%.
Yeah.
And then I can finally say I've been to Wonderland.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a first date thing. That's whenever I hear about it, I always hear it's like actual certified.
Like a relationship, yeah.
So I feel like it's either certified couples or good friends. And that's really what it's for. But I know I can be corrected if I'm wrong. But yeah, so it's from November 18th onwards.
One day after my birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it for your birthday if you'd like.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's 2 weeks away today.
Crazy.
I know, 22, the big 22.
Jesus.
Makes me feel old, bro. I love it though.
You're the same age as Hamza was when he started his self-improvement journey.
Really? He was 22?
I think so, yeah.
It's wild. It's crazy. Yeah. I sometimes forget he's 25.
Yeah, it's weird. He's
I know, mate.
A lot younger. A lot older, actually.
He seems older in terms of wisdom, younger in terms of when I came across him, which was only a year ago, but when I did come across him,
he seemed
seemed a lot younger, yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know who we're talking about, Hamza is a self-improvement YouTuber who essentially is the main reason either of us are here, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, by a mile,
I think that's
100%.
fair to say,
yeah, even at university, 100%, going to the gym, 100%, and even just having the confidence to have creative ventures and whatnot.
Yeah,
definitely off the back of his work. So
one of the best creators out there.
Yeah, his work's different now though. I find it's not as digestible as I used to when it was very raw. There's one where he goes out into the forest and he's climbing trees and whatnot, and there's some kids who are playing around and he's like helping them climb the trees and stuff like that. And I don't know if you've seen that video, but
I haven't seen that one, but I used to like his videos where you could tell like he's just got his iPhone, he's pasted it somewhere where it'll show his face, and he's just talking into it.
Oh, literally, mate. The more
he's got like production quality and stuff.
Yeah, the more natural it is. But that's the thing, like to pump out that much content and become an actual sort of empire off the back. Because he's hit 1 million subscribers now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, bro. I didn't even know he was that high. I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure.
Well,
I don't know how long he'd been doing YouTube when I found him.
My goal is to get 1 million subscribers by the end of university, and it's like a unreasonably reasonable goal because I feel like I just need to hit the right points.
Yeah.
Get like the right sort of boost in my growth to hit that, because people can hit it within a year, within 2 years.
Yeah.
And what's that? Within the next 3-4 years. So I think it's doable.
You've just got to keep ticking along, bro, and stay on your ventures, and you'll be fine. I'm totally confident in you, 100%.
I mean, my goal for this month, November, is 500 subscribers. I'm currently on 432, so I've got a ways to go. But I've got another video releasing this week. I mean, the main thing was I missed a week between my last video and the one before it.
Yeah.
Which kind of started my growth. But my most recent video generally did quite well. So yeah, I just need to get past like this level I'm at now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my goal for November. And speaking of November, a lot of people's goals this month is not to tug on their woodies.
Haha, yes.
Yeah, so no nut November.
I've already failed it.
You already failed?
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm not going to say
I'll caveat it a little bit, because like, I don't, typically I'm always on that no-fap grind, like,
yeah.
But like realistically now, I don't look at no-fap November or no November as like a challenge. It's like, it's just how I like to live my life, you know what I mean? And I'd like to think that like it does have a positive effect, but it's more the negatives that you get from doing the thing. Days. Yeah, so but I have broke it, but don't feel very guilty because of other circumstances that make us feel better about it. Do you know what I mean?
I think for me, like, I still have this sort of mindset every November. It's like, it doesn't really matter. I'm a lot older. It's a bit of a childish thing to do, but I still want to participate in it just because, you know, it's a thing, isn't it? Like,
I think it's a very good thing, and I think it should be taken seriously by a lot of men. Because I think if they keep it in, as long as you're supposed to, like, I think that you'll see the benefits 100%. You'll have a deeper voice. You'll be more confident. You'll be more assertive in the room. I
have more masculinity to like.
Oh, mate, 100%. I look back now and what I'm like now, whereas back in the day when I would just constantly like spank the monkey and go into work and feel like proper insecure. I think a lot of people's anxiety and insecurities as male comes off the back of just constantly watching porn and masturbating. Like, you don't realise it because when you're growing up you think it is a normal thing. It's very normal.
You're always told it's a normal thing. That's the problem. You're always told it's a normal thing, and then most people, because it's such a sensitive... It's not sensitive, but it's like a weird topic.
Very.
So people will never ask, are you doing it too much or anything like that. They'll just say, it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
And then they kind of expect you to do it in moderation.
Oh, mate,
when you're a teenage boy with unlimited access to the internet, that's not going to happen.
Me and my friends used to like literally debate about who did it more. Like, I used to say, no, I do it more than you. Like, I've done it 6 times in a day. I've done it 8 times a day. Do you know what I mean? And that type of sort of culture, especially when you're growing up as a young lad, it's always competitive with other guys, isn't it? And like, it filters into every other aspect of your life. And it sounds weird to be competitive about how much you're wanking, but it's unavoidable.
See, when I grew up, it was kind of the opposite. So for a good first few like years of like being a teenager, it'd be like really weird to talk about. So if someone asked, you'd be like, no, I don't really do that.
Yeah.
And then eventually there was just this age where like you
totally
get past
switches.
it, and it's like like, and people ask like, how many times have you done it one day? Like, 9. Like, GTA strippers just.
There was always that guy who'd done it like 20 times and he was totally proud.
There's always a guy who did it in school.
Yes, there's quite a few people who've done that, like, that I know of.
It's so weird.
I've actually wondered before, and I googled it actually, how many people do it at work? Because mate, there's no like a lot of people would just. Like, a lot of people can just go in the toilets, just do it, and then come back out and you might not know. And I think a lot more people do it than you think.
I feel like...
Which sounds very weird.
Yeah, because I feel like once it gets to the point where it's just as easy as, like, taking a piss, or going like.
And it is, bro. It literally is.
Because it eventually just becomes like a release or something that you do so naturally. It's just like going to the bathroom. And most people do it in the bathroom.
Exactly.
So it's weird because it's not. It is a normal thing to do, but I don't think it's a natural thing to do. Yeah. I don't think there's a need to do it. I mean, the only reason we can do it is because eventually there's been more and more of an incentive to do it because of that porn and stuff. But like, if you think about the cavemen, they probably weren't worrying about it that much. They were probably like,
well, they were
worrying about food.
Well, so, yeah, as well. But their form of masturbation was just they'd all just realistically have each other. They'd go and they, for the most part, I think they just all raped each other. As bad as it sounds, but obviously there was no rules back then, so that was what was their form of masturbation. So, and then as things developed, of course, they started getting brothels and whorehouses and stuff like that. But I do think it has literally been brought on a lot by the media and culture, like American Pie, that sort of thing. You know, that sort of like American jock culture that people think's like, yo, I'm a dude, I'm growing up, man, I'm a teenager, I've got to.
It's incredible how much of like your life is influenced by like American TV shows and
crazy.
Like, movies. I never realised it before, but most people's like, ideas about family, for example, are like completely based off like or most people's ideas about Friends, for example, is from like shows like Friends. Which I've been rewatching recently.
I know. I saw it the other day when you were eating your dinner.
It's a good show.
I don't rate Friends.
You don't rate it?
I don't like Friends. No.
I like it.
I'm one of those guys who thinks it's god awful, and I was named after Joey as well. So
we actually named after Joey Tribbiani.
Well, my name's Joseph, but my dad calls us Joey because of Joey Tribbiani. Yeah, he likes Friends. My mum likes Friends as well, but
I think it's a decent show. But a lot of the times I have to remind myself like this is probably not how an adult friendship would work.
Oh, not at all.
Like,
I don't think many adults have friends.
No, I feel like a lot of adults just have
acquaintances.
Well, we're adults now, actually, aren't we?
I wouldn't say so.
Young adults. We're not adolescents.
We're young adults, yeah.
But that's just Friends as well, because they were all in like their 20s when they were.
But I think like real adulthood starts either when you start working at 21 or when you leave university, just in general. Like at any, do you know what I mean? Like, so you can be 23 in university, but when you leave university at say 24, 25, that's when things really change because you've not got that common thing to bring you together. Because a lot of the time, people's friends at that age do just revolve around work. I've always thought like in terms of friends, it is very hard to make real friends because like I feel lucky that I've got some really solid friendships that I literally could say I can say without hesitation that they're my best friends. But I also know that a lot of people don't, and one of the things I always realise is I think I've worked 5 jobs now, maybe 6, which sounds like a crazy amount, but and every single one of them I've had like a best friend there, and it's like, oh, we'll stay in touch, and then you never speak to them, literally.
Never do after.
The one exception is the guy I was with last night, and that was from Odeon, in my first job, and he's still one of my best friends in the world to this day. So maybe it's very specific to, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I mean, when you work with someone, you got to ask yourself whether you're friends because of the work or friends because you actually genuinely like them.
Literally.
With me, when I was working, I used to like talk to people who technically we worked together, but we were in like completely different departments, and we wouldn't necessarily see each other. But because we vibed as like people, like we became friends. We still talk to this day, etc. But then a lot of people there who I like worked in my same department, and I worked with, I'm never realistically going to speak to them again. I'd be happy to. But we have nothing in common apart from that. Because the main thing that comes from making friends at work is neither of you want to do the job. And neither of you want to stand there and do nothing. So you may as well just talk to each other.
Some of the conversations that go on in work, they always revolve around, I don't want to work. Yeah, I can't be bothered, or I've got my break soon, I just want to finish, or like, you're so lucky you're finishing at 4 and I'm finishing at 8. It's all just filler rubbish, literally. And that thing is as well, I really like...
That's why I can't work again, because it's like you're on autopilot, essentially.
Oh, 100%, but what I do is I pool my time into the customers, and I just talk to randomers, and I'm always just overly nice. I find very exciting, just talking rubbish to randomers, and that's why I'm excited to work in London and have that buzz of being dropping everything, having that buzz of just being at like super busy times. I mean, Christmas time, working in a supermarket of sorts in Stratford. It's gonna be chaos.
I mean, only thing I'd say for you, are you going to be working during a rush hour? Like you have to go during rush hour and stuff.
2 till 10 Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's not too bad.
Which is really good. And then Saturday 8 till 5. So I'll be on the tube during rush hour, but it's on a Saturday, so.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's totally different.
To be fair, it's London, so a Saturday is still.
Mate, literally.
What do they call the city? The city that never sleeps.
City that never sleeps.
It's I think it's the most true name I've ever heard for like an actual city.
Oh mate, I was out last night and it was Wednesday and it felt like I was
PM.
Mate, I was coming back on the bus at about maybe 2:45, and I was thinking, shit, I've got a seminar tomorrow. I've got to record the podcast. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Do you know what I mean? I was like, it's an actual day tomorrow. Like, and I used to go out on the weekdays every day when I used to work in bars and stuff like that because that was my lifestyle. But since cutting that out, I wouldn't go out weekdays, and if I did, it would be very minimal. I wouldn't stay out late. So it was a bit of a shock when I remembered I actually had something to do.
Yeah.
But I sort of just leaned into it a bit and just lay in my bed for a little bit, and I didn't go to my seminar. So.
Yeah. Going back to I was speaking about London and started thinking about New York and then started thinking about Friends again.
Yeah.
The show. Going back to, I think the dream they sell to a lot of people is that idea of like being an adult who's come out of university, having a good group of friends like that you see every day.
Yeah.
And you live in like a bustling city where something is always going on. And I think a lot of people get in their heads about not having that, especially when you're an adult. Like.
And do you think it creates like a inferiority sort of thing, like an insecurity, like why is my life like that, not like this?
I think
like,
it makes a lot of ungratefulness for friendship groups. A lot of people saying, like, "Oh, why are my friends like this?"
Because they're not written by screenwriters.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's they're written to be as entertaining as possible. It's totally wild, like how people could think that that's real life, but it does make you put things in perspective about how many people actually don't have that friends, core network, mate. Literally, like they'll have acquaintances, but that's it. And I didn't feel like I had any really until about 2 years ago. And like now I've got me two best mates who I just love to absolute pieces, and I always say it. But before that, I thought, am I ever gonna find like real people? I keep dropping something because I can't stop touching them. Going all over the place this year. It's literally a fidget spinner, mate. Where did fidget spinners go?
I haven't seen a fidget spinner in years. They're probably all in the landfills at the moment.
I saw Sneeko using one on YouTube, which was a strange thing. He was sat with Imran Ghazi, the multi-millionaire. Do you know who I mean?
Yeah.
Flicking a fidget spinner and looking very, very insecure while stood next to him.
It was like a cure for like fidgeting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the other bit, like stress balls, for example.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing. It just became like memes.
Thing is though, mate, if it's a cure for fidgeting, it's not.
Well, it's not.
All it does is just reinforce the fidgeting. It's just again, it's like a thing like Halloween where it's like, well, it's just a way to make money. Do you know what I mean? Like
I don't think fidgeting is a bad thing though.
No, it's not, mate. Literally,
it's just a natural thing. People have more metabolism than others. Say for example, me, I'm just sitting still right now.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to burn calories, realistically, I should be fidgeting at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I never stopped moving. My legs haven't stopped this whole show. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, when I was really skinny, I used to do this thing where I'd constantly just be moving my leg up and down, and people would think I have anxiety. It's like, no, I really like talking. And now I can't stop doing it. I just start doing it.
Yeah, you might as well. I'll be doing the whole show.
But yeah, it's fidgeting isn't a bad thing. I hate how teachers used to be like, don't fidget and stuff, because I feel like teachers in general is a whole different kind of worms that we should get into another episode.
Oh mate, teachers have a profound impact on you as a kid. They can make you feel so small and little. And if they don't like you, I used to have teachers who didn't like me because I wasn't well behaved or I used to be a bit naughty. But the thing is though, what's better for them? Making a kid feel so bad that they're not going to express themselves so it makes their life easy, or trying to actually promote their best growth and features, and make things harder for themselves. As a teacher, you'd probably rather just literally make things easy for yourself, because at the end of the day, what matters is your life.
Yeah.
You're not going to know the kids when they're older.
But as a kid, you can always tell which teacher actually gives a shit about
the
students.
Most definitely, mate. Most definitely. And that's why you appreciate them so much more.
Yeah.
100%. But there's also the different types of teachers. Like, you can tell the teachers who care about a specific person. Like, for example, like, the PE teacher who loves this one. Honestly, this guy, I won't say his name, but he's my teacher. And I will just say Mr. Ruddock in my primary school. And he was like obsessed with he's one of my best friends now, actually, but he used to go to the different primary school. He used to always win this the cross country. And he was like, I won't actually say my mate's name, but he was like, well, he's won it again. He was obsessed with him, absolutely obsessed. And he was always obsessed with the best on the sports teams and whatnot. But then, like, if he didn't try, or not that I'm saying that they shouldn't have, just because they don't try, they shouldn't be getting encouraged, but because I think you should be trying as bare minimum on in terms of like the expectancy. Not that I think I ever did, but you would disregard anyone who's outside of that sports fitness lane. You know what I mean?
You can kind of tell when teachers who have been working as a teacher for a while start picking and choosing which students they want to actually like help with their potential.
Yeah.
But I'd always see like you'd have, for example, because I was like a bright kid in school.
Yeah.
Not just stay humble, of course. Shouldn't say fuck. I said again. Okay. Fuck's sake.
It's okay, bro. We'll let you off.
We'll let you off.
Take a deep breath, mate. Take a momentary meditative moment.
Oh god, everything's going wrong.
It's okay. It's natural. We just let things roll.
Yeah. So I had this teacher. I'm just going to ignore it. That would
It's hard.
The more I try to not say it, the more I'm saying.
The more it comes. Mate, just say it. Life's like that. That's how it works.
Yeah.
It's a filler word.
Teacher that would, like, they would neglect all the students who they knew would just like mess around and not really try.
Yeah.
But then they'd see potential in people who are like generally bright and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know when like people say like, oh, I hate this teacher, they're a prick, etc. And then I'd always be the one thinking like, no, actually you're right, to be honest. And then you can always, and it was the same with like, for example, we used to have this one teacher who the entire school hated.
Yeah.
But then when she's actually with her class, she's like one of the best teachers.
Yeah.
And like you actually get like to know them, like they almost feel like a sort of parental figure to the class.
Yeah.
Like, those are the sort of best teachers. But then to everyone else, like they are the worst. And then most people don't notice how good that teacher is until they become an actual student of them. And that's when you kind of realise that the best teachers are the ones who don't put their time into every single student and kind of just focus on their own class.
But that's all you can do. You can only work with what's in front of you. It's like that in every walk of life. Like if you try to do too much and help and try and sort of take on too much of a workload, all you're going to do is just sort of struggle to actually penetrate deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's.
I probably shouldn't be talking about penetrating deep in context with teachers or anything like that. But you know what I mean. Like this. Taking on too much of the responsibility can often be a detriment to the actual kids themselves.
Yeah. No, I remember even like when a kid starts showing more responsibility and a teacher notices it, it's quite good. Like when I first lost weight back in school, I never got along with the PE teachers because they could kind of tell that I'd never try it and like I generally hated it. But as I started losing weight and I started putting more effort into the actual classes, like they'd appreciate me more. Like I remember once, the other thing was during a cricket game and I was fielding and I was like way far out because the ball went all the way over.
Yeah.
And then the teacher called me over and it wasn't even like a thing, but I could have just walked over. But I jogged over because I was in like sort of I was a lot skinnier then, I was more of an active person. And then they were like, that was really good the way you jogged over here.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I should say this story because it's really me. I mean, the guy's never going to listen to it, the other person in question. But essentially, the teacher called two of us over.
Yeah.
So me, who's recently lost weight, become more of an active person. Well, I hope I still am now. I still am now.
Yeah, mate, you got the gym like 5 times a week.
Yeah.
You're active, more active than most.
And then brought over this guy who's like the typical sort of nerd, fat sort of.
Yeah.
Brought him over, and then he just started talking to me, and it's like, oh, you lost so much weight. What do you do, etc. And I was like, yeah, I just go to the gym, eat well, etc. And then he's liked that. I'm like, yeah, you should hang out with him more often. That's the entire conversation. I was like, wow, okay.
Jesus.
I love recalling that story because it's such a perfect example of like a teacher's bias. But,
100%. Well,
yeah.
just went crazy in the mic there.
Yeah.
Just screaming in the mic. Oh, literally, mate, literally. Like, teachers are a whole different kettle of fish. I've seen a lot of stuff recently about teachers leaving their jobs. A lot of stuff on YouTube. People uploading videos like why I left teaching after this amount of years,
Because I realise it's not worth it. You don't get paid enough.
Mate,
you don't get appreciated.
It's got to be so much worse these days as well, mate. Like, I've heard that, like, kids in school are always on their phones now, like...
The majority of teaching is done through a screen at this point. Like, we're actually in the matrix now where all of the, like, data that you get into your head at a young age is just from the screen. Like, the kids on their iPads constantly and stuff.
Oh, they don't read. They don't read actual books at all. It's just PDFs just get uploaded and people just read them off that. Which I know is still reading, but there's something about having a hands-on experience with a book, I think, that
Did you ever have deer time in school?
What's that, sorry?
Deer time.
Deer time?
Yeah, so drop everything and read.
No, never ever had that.
We had that.
Really?
It was so funny because people would just take the piss out of it being called deer.
Yeah.
So like you.
I was about to myself. I'm not gonna lie.
So, like you'd walk into a conversation like with your friends at lunchtime. You're like, guys, drop everything and read, and then everyone just goes silent.
Yeah, I would have liked to have partook in some deer time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it sounds like an interesting little afternoon activity.
Yeah, well, looking back, I used to hate it back then, but generally, I'd kill for it now, to be honest. Like, to get into a lecture and then the lecture
just say, drop everything and read.
Drop everything and read.
Did you have a field at your school?
We did have a field.
Yeah, very lucky.
And secondary school.
I didn't have one for primary, but secondary we did, but I never really went on it.
The field is more of a thing where you go in summer, and if you're the active sort of kid, which I wasn't majority of school, you play football. If you're not the active sort of kid, you sit down and chill, which you would have otherwise done inside on the lunch table anyway. But I was more the kid who, during lunchtime, hangs out in like the library or the lunch table with their friends and kind of just chats for the entire lunch.
Well, mine changed. Like, initially, year 7 and 8, like during primary school, we would play football, and we didn't have a field, so we'd play football in the actual like yard. And like, obviously, you can imagine there'll been a lot of injuries. There was a few times my like legs and arms were scratched up like crazy. But year 7 and 8 in my school was sectioned off from year 9, 10, 11. So I had two different. I went to the same school, but 7 and 8 was at a different site to 9, 10, and 11.
We had a similar thing.
Really?
But the way it would work is, so year 7s would get their lunch first.
Yeah.
Then 10-15 minutes later, year 8s. Then 10-15 minutes later, year 9s.
That's weird.
Then 10-15 minutes later, year 10s. I think it was that. I might be remembering wrong, but I know there was like a separation of the years as well.
No, I mean like the school for the year 9s, 10s, and 11s was 20 minutes away from.
What? Really?
Yeah,
they
like
had separate buildings?
Like two different schools, yeah.
Okay, no.
Probably like 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. So what would happen was, like, year 7 and 8, you get food from the school and would go play football on the field. And then year 9, 10, 11, you're allowed to go on the front street. So we'd go to the front street, and that was when my health went down in decline. Like, there'd be this place that would do 8-inch pizza with Donner meat and chips for £2. And I'd get that every day. Or I go to the Southern Fried Chicken place, which you get 4 strips of Southern Fried Chicken and chips and sauce and a drink for £3. Or there's a Subway for £3 with a drink, which I know sounds crazy these days, but it did used to cost that. So every day it was just takeaway, and then we'd go to like the park, or I'd go here, or you know what I mean, like sort of wander.
See, I had a similar thing back in year 11. So we had this thing. So we'd have 6 periods in a day, was essentially like our classes. But then once you get to year 11, you have what's called period 7, which is another class after school.
Really?
They have to attend. So like, say you.
Why would you have to attend it? Like, what was the point?
Be another lesson. So essentially, once you get to year 11, they give you 1 extra lesson at the end of each day.
But what time would your school initially shut before that? Would you stay until 4:30?
So essentially, my school would end at 2:50 every day. And if you had period 7. You'd stay in school. You have your break between 2:50 and 3, or no, I think it was goes 3:05, maybe something like that, and then you have another lesson after that, and
Yeah.
then around 4 o'clock you go home.
Right.
And they were like mandatory. They basically told us this is a lesson. This is not an optional after school thing they come to. If you have a club already, you let it go. Now you have to focus on.
That's bullshit. That
7.
like what's.
And obviously, no one would ever go.
Oh no, of course I would never go.
It would like be counting your attendance, but instead of people going, because what would happen is there's always be someone who had to go to period 7 because they missed too many, had detention, etc. So everyone would stay around the school area.
Yeah.
So what we do is, do you guys want to go get pizza during period 7? And there'd be like this high street just outside of school.
Yeah.
We go there every period 7. There was this deal where if you gave in £5, you could get a large pizza. So what everyone would do, they'd have bring in £1 each.
Yeah.
And there'd be like 10 of us, or
you
get 3 pizzas. You just eat, and then you go and either walk home or just like chill.
Yeah.
And then there were other shops as well. So one of my friends used to be a proper like hacker man, and he used to get like free KFC like codes and like codes where you could use the apps and like you basically download the app, sign into someone's account where they've accumulated all of these points over years and just use their points.
Really?
So,
mate, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get fat during that time because I went a lot of the time. But I still maintained losing weight, but that's when everyone's health sort of declined because it was just every day. Just
mate, 100%. And plus, when you're that age and you've got money for dinner and you've got the freedom of going anywhere you want without a parent telling you, because at that age I was like 14, 15. It's so tempting to just eat rubbish because, mate, I always say this to my friend, everything you're taught about nutrition and diet as a kid, about five a day and getting the right nutrients and whatnot, mate, it's all true. And when I was younger, I never used to think it was true. But then you get a bit older and people start, do you know what I mean, putting on weight and stuff like that, and lack of activity. Like, it's so important to just take care of yourself through proper nutrition and also exercise and loads of water, mate. Mate, people don't drink enough water. I've not drank enough today, and all day I've been yawning, as you can hear. Like,
I haven't drank enough today either.
Especially with how much alcohol I've consumed in the last few days.
It dehydrates you.
Oh, I know, mate. Literally, like especially red wine. Red wine's the worst, and I drank loads of it last night. I must have at least had a bottle, like, so interesting. But it was lovely. It was really nice last night. Like, I went to Shoreditch, which I'd never been to before.
I still need to explore London, to be honest. Places like that, Shoreditch.
There's so many good places I've been to, but it was really nice last night because I was with my friend, two lads I know, and then their friends, and they go to UCL, so they've been here for 3 years now, and they know everywhere. They study Russian. Very interesting, isn't it? They did a year abroad in Russian, and in Russia, sorry. And
that's accounting for any sort of situation, because say Russia takes over the world, they're calm.
No, exactly, bro. It's an asset, really. That's why I want to learn Mandarin. It's an asset for the future when China take over. I probably shouldn't even say that if I want to go and do a year abroad there, because they'll have algorithms that check for people. But
see, I wish I could do a year abroad in industry. I think that would be amazing.
Oh, you can do it.
I can't. If I do a year in industry, it has to be.
Has to be in the UK. Well, fuck that. Like I literally wouldn't be like. I look at what my friends are doing right now, living abroad in France and Spain. And when I visited my mate in Spain, and I'm going to visit my mate in France in 2 weeks for my birthday. Like,
where would you go abroad? Because I wouldn't go anywhere abroad where I'd have to learn a new language. Even though that sounds.
That's so wild, mate. You have to learn the language. Like, 100%.
I want to go to like Canada or like New York or something.
I do want to go to New York, but that like I'm gonna try and work it around music, because when the time comes in about a year's time, when you have to start thinking about where you want to go for third year. Obviously, it's not third year; it's a sandwich year between 2 and 3. And I look at me options, and I think, who's in my network? Where can I see myself performing? Where would have the best positive impact in regards to my career? Like New York, getting into the rap scene there. I speak to a few rappers over there, and I know someone who DJs over there already. There's a lot of dance music goes on in Europe, like Paris, really big for house music. Berlin, really big for techno. Yeah. But it'll all revolve around music for me.
I need to do what you do, where you're actually networking, like in regards to music, because I need to network when it comes to like YouTube and stuff. But it's difficult to find like YouTubers.
Mate, it's not about finding YouTube. It's about finding people who watch YouTube and who watches YouTube. Everyone.
Yeah.
You were at that society meeting last night. I would have been saying that's the type of people you want to market to, as the people who are in that society that you were at. And it would have just been as easy as dropping a conversation, giving them a QR code, and saying, "Have a look at your videos."
QR code. So I was talking to like people I met yesterday about my podcast and stuff.
Yeah.
About our podcast, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to. I wish like things with content creation.
Yeah.
Unless you do like music, for example, or like professional like film or anything like that. If you're just doing YouTube or like social media, because it's so widespread and so like anyone can do it.
Yeah.
There's no niche like sort of groups for it. Like,
100%,
there's no
mate.
YouTuber society, but there's going to be like a music society, a filmmaking society, and it's because with YouTube you can do music and filmmaking as much as you want.
Oh, it definitely crosses way more barriers, bro, by a mile, 100%.
But like, if I wanted to find the society for this type of YouTube videos I do, that would be so difficult to like actually get those sort of people in.
Yeah.
Which I need to start trying. I need to start like joining more Discord servers and stuff, and trying to like, because I'm in London, chances are there's got to be like a few people.
Oh mate, it's just I think for me personally, I think what you should do is you should scour Reddit for YouTube creator. Like it'd be like a subreddit where it's like creator, so like you know what I mean, like a one for YouTube creators. Then just put a post on and say who lives in London, who creates YouTube content. Would love to see what you.
I don't know how to use Reddit. I know
it's quite easy, bro.
I know how to use Reddit for like it's intended.
But you don't know how to actually contribute to it and learn through it.
The last time I tried posting on Reddit, I posted and then I got an instant reply saying you do not have enough karma to post in the subreddit.
Mate, a lot of it's like that. Or like sometimes if you include an image in the post, it'll say you can't do that, or if there's any links, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You've just got to persevere and just work out. And even mate, you can find people off the back of posts about what you're interested in and then DM them. But you know what I mean? But you got to stay vigilant and just do it every single day. Like I DM people my music every single day, mate. I go ham on it. I'm a bit ridiculous with it, to be honest with you, but you got to make like right now I don't offer anyone anything in terms of like what I do, but I want to be on the radar so that when I can offer them some value, they know I've been around and I've been on their wave for a long time. Do you know what I mean?
See, I've been doing the opposite, because with YouTube, I always found it sort of not cringy, but like, I guess cringy when you see like people in comments saying check out my channel. And then today I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw this one guy who's literally got 3 videos on his channel, and they're all Roblox related.
Yeah.
Or like commentary. It's similar to me, but essentially rather than speaking into a mic, he's just typing into Roblox. It's
what? So he's not
channel.
he's not even actually like applying any personality to it.
No, he's applying. The videos are hilarious.
Really? Oh, okay.
But it's just a Roblox character talking, and he's talking about subject, and then the title is like "Why I Love Andrew Tate," and then he's just talking in Roblox about it, and then there's like funny music behind it. And what
it's quite creative, to be honest with you.
It is unique. It
sits outside the box, yeah.
Yeah, he goes onto like different YouTube channels, and so for example, I was looking at videos for the new Sonic game because I'm a big fan of the series, and the new game actually looks very, very sick.
Really?
It looks so good. Like one of the, I reckon it could be game of the year, which is I never thought I'd say that about that Sonic game. Yeah. Anyway, so I was looking at the trailers and stuff, and I see in the comments, leaked cutscene from the game, click here. So I click on it knowing it's probably going to be malware or spam or whatever.
Yeah.
It goes onto his YouTube channel. I'm like, okay, this guy has definitely pissed some people off. And I look at the comments, and below that Why I Love Andrew Tate video, everyone is pissed. But he's got like, what, I think 1.5k subscribers in a few weeks. And like multiple, like 20k views on his first video. Yeah. Just from promoting it constantly.
I mean, that's what you got to do.
Doing that.
You got to be vigilant. And you got to be prepared to just put yourself out there. It's the most important thing. Because like realistically, what are you gonna lose? Nothing.
Because I feel like my sort of cycle of natural growth on YouTube, it hasn't ended obviously because there's still a lot more to be done. But this sort of period of it's kind of ended where if I want to get to the next level, I need to start promoting more. Yeah. So like every single video, I need to start doing it. I need to start like even paying for promotion, because you can do that on most social media now.
This is the thing as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with paying for it at all. There's nothing wrong with paying for courses to learn things. There's nothing wrong with paying for promotion, doing ads, TikTok ads. There's nothing wrong at all with it, mate. Because at the end of the day, all it's doing is benefiting you. Yeah, like I always think. in terms of a business, if you're starting a business, you have to invest your own money into it to get something out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's it's almost impossible to start a business and not put money into it. So why is YouTube any different? Why is money not any different? Why is music not any different? You know what I mean? So I really don't think there's anything wrong with investing money into creative ventures like that. If it's going to benefit your public image and getting your word out there.
Okay, I think I've had the wrong mindset for a while, where I've been waiting for like just a sudden spike again, like what happened to me before, to kind of bring me to the next level.
Yeah.
And
it'll happen, mate. You just gotta stay consistent.
It will happen, but I need to start promoting it as well, because then that will accelerate it.
Yeah.
Because I can't be waiting for years just to get one sudden spike again, because then I'm not gonna. I need to start like ruthlessly start pursuing like the goals I want to achieve.
Yeah.
So I think what I might do is just set aside like half an hour in a day to just go through like Discord servers and YouTube and like Instagram DMs, etc., and just DM people who are similar in what they do, same as what you do. Just DM people who do similar things to me. Show them like, here's my stuff. If you ever want to collab, here's that. If you ever want to have a look at it, here's that. But yeah, I think the annoying thing about YouTube is they can always tell where you get your traffic from. So if I'm promoting and the majority of my traffic they can tell is from me actually promoting, then
do they take you out of the algorithm?
That takes me out of the algorithm. So it's sort of like a tightrope you have to be on, where you're still promoting, but you're still getting the majority of your views from like YouTube search and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, YouTube is just one of those things. It's not as easy as people say, if I'm honest. It's
just another way of working out the world, mate. It's very, very hard, I think, but at the end of the day, I do genuinely think that you'll do, mate, because you've got the drive and you've got the ideas.
Yeah. I think we covered everything today.
I think we have, bro. I think we have, aye.
Yeah.
November, Halloween, teachers, creative ventures.
Last thing I was going to say, actually, we need to get ourselves on Spotify.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, big up Deezer. I know a lot of people who...
Really?
No, I'm joking.
I was going to say Deezer,
I don't think I've met a single person who uses Deezer.
I've used Deezer before.
I've used a free trial.
I've used the family account that my stepdad had, because for some reason he would use Deezer. I've got no idea why, but it was okay. It was missing some stuff, but at the end of the day, it was pretty much had everything I needed at the time.
I have this one app where essentially I can convert songs between different streamings.
Really?
Streaming services. I paid £11 for it like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But essentially, I can upload all of my songs to Spotify, transfer them all to Apple Music without me having to do it manually.
Oh, so when you switch to oh my god, I can't talk.
If I switch to Deezer,
you've got the same library.
I've got the exact same library. Down to the playlist and like the album art and stuff. But yeah, we will be on Deezer soon. Don't worry, for everyone who uses Deezer. Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play Music, that sort of thing. YouTube Music.
The whole shebang.
So yeah, and we'll call that a day.
It's been a very long day.
A very long day.
Like, I'm a tired boy.
Should we get a guest on next podcast, I think, already?
We'll just see how it goes. We'll find someone. Might be next week, might be in 2 weeks' time. Who knows?
So have a good night, everybody.
Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.